This week we're going to be reading John Winthrop's City on a Hill. So John Winthrop was one of the early Puritan leaders. He was the leader over the Massachusetts Bay Colony, and he very famously gave this, which was a sermon. And if you look at the structure of this, I really want you to pay attention to what he's saying. He's essentially saying that this endeavor, this colonial endeavor, is ordained by God, right? That there is a structure to reality where God actually creates, and it's very interesting. He lays out the structure of the way he sees reality as being created through a very specific Christian lens. And he says, look, God has made it where there is inequality. He said there are some that are rich, some that are poor, some that have a lot, that don't have a lot, who are strong, who are capable, who are weak. He lays this out, and he says that this is the case so that a number of things can happen. One, so that God's glory can be shown into the world, right? This is a very Calvinist way of thinking about things. But he's also going to say that this is the case so that the rich can be good to the poor, so that the poor can establish patience and long suffering, right? These fruits of the Spirit in the language of Christianity, right? So without that, there can't be goodness shown or endurance shown, right? These virtues that come out of living life. This is something that John Winthrop is going to see as integral. It's a very interesting argument because he's essentially saying that there is not equality, and it's that way because God made it that way so that these other good things can come out of inequality. Very specific argument. And then he's going to go on and make a couple of other claims that I want you to notice. He's essentially going to say that this new society that the Puritans are creating has the ability to do two things. They can either obey the Christian worldview, they can be true to the Christian faith, and they will be the city on a hill, literally a light to the nations, right? A city, an example to the world. Or if they fail and they don't institute a Christian society built on shared togetherness and Christian love, then they will fail, and essentially the colony will be destroyed. And even then, notice, according to Winthrop, that God will be, his glory will be shown, because whether they are good and they show themselves to be pure chosen people, or whether they fail and they show themselves to not be chosen people, either way, God is glorified. And this is a very Calvinist, very Puritan way of thinking, right? There is this overarching predestined narrative that's going to happen, and people are essentially just playing it out in time, right? And so they're not actually sure which one it will be. If it proves to be that this colony is the elect, the chosen one, then we are literally the chosen people, right? And so there's not a coincidence that when you begin to look down this sermon that he gives, that he constantly begins to refer to their group or their community by referring back to the Old Testament, the Israelites in the Old Testament, right? He's going to see that community, if it succeeds, as being chosen much like the Jews in the Old Testament. So this is a very, very classically Calvinist way of viewing reality. When we begin to really dive in and see what the Puritans think, these themes are going to really structure culture, family values, governance, really all of Puritan society.